Rita's Theater, Pink and Saved by Patricia Polacco, adapted by Kim Rogers. When Shelton Russell Curtis told this story to his daughter, Rosa, she kept every word in her heart and was to retell it many times over in her long lifetime. Shelton had been injured in a fierce battle and was left for dead in a muddy, blood soaked pasture somewhere in Georgia. He was only 15 years old. He lay there for 2 days and was very sick. He was rescued by another boy that was also separated from his company. They both flew Union flags. I hurt real bad. For almost a year, I've been in this man's army. The war between the states. Being young, I wish I was home. I want to go back to the farm in Ohio. I dream I'm with my mom, making biscuits in her wood stove. Huh? Somebody here? Been here, boy. Means you gotta be dead. Where you hit? 'Cause if it's a belly hit, I gotta leave you here. Hit in the leg, not too bad if it don't go green. Can you stand on it? We gotta keep moving. They're riding around looking for the wounded. Next thing you know, the hurt boy was passed out and the other boy had to carry him most of the way. Look at the morning that's coming. Where am I? Is this heaven? No, child. Pink has brought you home to me. Don't you remember? Both of you been on the run for days. Guess you don't remember much. I'm Pika's Ailey. Fought with the 48 colored. Found you after I got lost from my company. You can call me Pink. My name is Shelton Curtis. You can call me Say. This is my mother, Momo Bay. Lord, Lord, I never thought I'd see my dear boy again. Where is everybody? Your daddy run off to fight. All the others run out of harm's way. I stayed here. I stayed to see my baby come back. For the next week, Momo Bay fed the two boys up good. Pink helped Say walk every day to keep his leg moving. Pink told Say about the master's house and his family, and Say told Pink about life on the farm. Pink read the Bible to them after supper each night, and Say revealed that he never learned to read. I may not read, but I done something important. Of course you have, child. Of course you have. I touched Mr. Lincoln's hand. It were near Washington. We were quartered there just before Bull Run. The president himself was shaking everybody's hand, and I just put my hand right out, and he took it. Yep, he took it. Touched my hand, Pink. Now you can say you touched the hand that shook the hand of Abraham Lincoln. Next best thing to touching him. Most of the day, Pink spent studying an old map. They won't fan out more than 30 miles or so from this camps. We gotta go south to the river. We can meet up with the troop there. Meet who? You ain't leaving? Now, Mother, you knew we had to go. No, no. Mother, this war has to be won, or this sickness that has taken this land will never stop. We have to go. Later that night, Say had trouble sleeping. What's wrong, child? I don't want to go back. Well, of course you don't. No, you don't understand. I was hit running away from my union. I'm a coward, a deserter. You ain't nothing of the kind. Of course you're scared. Ain't nobody that ain't scared. Now sleep, child, sleep. The next day, the boys prepared to leave. As they were finishing up, they heard wild screams and squeaks coming from the wood. Marauders! Get to the roof cellar. Hurry, afore they're here. Hear those porch steps creaking? She's drawing them away. She's drawing them off. When the marauders came into the cabin, the boys could hear them ransack the place looking for food. Then they were silent. Then they heard a single gunshot echo through the woods, and the men let out a war whoop as they thundered off. The boys waited for a sign from Momo Bay that it was safe to come out, but it didn't come. After burying Momo Bay under the willow tree, the boys set out off to go back to the war. Pink figured they were probably about a 3 days walk to the Union troops. On the second day, the boys knew they were being followed. Where you going with that darky, boy? What outfit you part of? You Union boy? The Confederate pulled a Union jacket out of Say's backpack. No, I ain't no Union. I got that jacket off a dead one. Hearing Say accent, the Confederate soldier grabbed the boys. The first night they spent in a barn. The next day they were thrown into a boxcar and drove for 2 days. They were then put on a wagon and taken to a stockade called Andersonville, one of the worst Confederate camps. When they arrived, the two boys were thrown to the ground. No, no. Pink had developed a fever and he stumbled and fell. The Confederate dragged him along roughly. Let me touch the hand that touched Mr. Lincoln. Say just one last time. The two boys were torn apart. They hit Pink and dragged him away. Sheldon Russell Curtis was released from Andersonville prison some months later, weighing no more than 78 pounds. Andersonville had been built to hold only 10,000 prisoners, but by the end of the war, it held 33,000 soldiers. There was no fresh water, no shelter, and no food. 13,000 men and boys died of starvation and sickness. Say returned to his home and recovered. He married and had 7 children. He became a grandfather and great grandfather and died a very old man in 1924. Pincus Ailey never returned home. For him, there was to be no wife, no children, no grandchildren to remember him. It is told that he was hanged within hours after he was taken into Andersonville. His body was thrown into a lime pit. The end.